Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. Long story short, I broke my laptop and it took me a while to be able to get a new one in. So, yeah. That's basically why I'm back today. So today I'm doing another reaction video to 10 surprising scientific miracles in the Quran. So yeah, this one looks to be a pretty decent one. As far as I'm aware, the channel that posted this isn't actually an Islamic-based channel. So yeah, this will be interesting to see if, you know, they have any sort of bias, because really they shouldn't. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into this one.
View the Quran as a direct revelation from God, and often passages of the Quran related to science are used as evidence of the Quran's divine origins. Welcome to another FT Facts episode. My name is Leroy Kenton, and in this episode, it was actually requested by Don Zahir Machiavelli, and many of you also requested this topic too, so thank you for your video suggestion. And now this was an extremely fascinating episode, so you definitely got to watch it up until the end. I don't want you to miss any of these 10 miracles. So the first thing is the speed of light. Muslims believe that angels are created from light, and the angels communicate the affairs of God, which they get from what is known as a preserved tablet in outer space. And the speed at which they travel to and from this tablet, it turns out to actually be the speed of light. In the Quran, Surah 32 verse 5, it says, Allah rules the cosmic affairs from the heavens to the earth. Then this affair travels to him a distance in one day, at a measure of 1,000 years of what you count. Hence, in one day, the angels will travel a distance of 1,000 years according to the lunar calendar, because that's what Muslims counted at that time. The belief is that God is saying that the angels travel in one day the same distance that the moon travels in 12,000 lunar orbits. 12,000 lunar orbits or Earth days equals the speed of light. Now science shows that. Now the atmosphere protects us is the next thing. So the atmosphere protects Earth from radiation and meteorites. Now this is also portrayed in the Quran 1400 years ago. In the Quran, Surah 21 verse 32, it says, and we made the sky a protective shield, and they turn away from its sign. The next scientific miracle in the Quran is the female bees are the worker bees. So worker bees are actually all females. Now the Quran refers to bees that generate honey as females. So listen to this. In the Quran, Surah 16 verses 68 to 69, it says, and your Lord revealed to the bees, build your hives in mountains, trees, and in what they build. Then eat from every fruit and follow your Lord's enslaved paths. From its bellies exists drink of different color, in it healing for man. So in Arabic, the word eat or kuli is for females, and that's used in the Quran. And the term follow a path is the word usluki in Arabic, and that refers to females as well. As also the term its bellies is butuniha, and that's also used for females. The Quran also mentions hearing before seeing. So this is what I mean. So hearing is one of the first senses to develop. Now this is only known in recent history, and it's also mentioned in the Quran. The Quran, Surah 76 verses 2, it says, we created man from a fertilizing sperm to test him, and we made him hearing and seeing. Also the Quran, Surah 23:78, it says, it is he who produced for you the hearing and the eyesight and the feelings, but little gratitude you show. So the Quran always refers to the hearing before the seeing, which turned out to be the actual order of human development in the womb. Flight comes in at number 6. So the Quran...
Okay, I'm just going to pause this really quickly, as basically the audio that he's saying isn't syncing up with his mouth. It's the way they've uploaded this seems really weird. But so yeah, just a disclaimer there. So when you guys are watching it, you know, down here, apologies in advance if it doesn't, you know, sync up right. It's not syncing up for me here either when I'm watching it directly from YouTube. So yeah, that's just a little disclaimer there. Also, but I do find a lot of this to be really, really interesting. Some of this I've never even heard of. So obviously, as I've said before, as a Muslim, I am aware of, you know, certain scientific miracles in the Quran, such as, you know, things such as embryology, for example. So, you know, I was aware of things like that, but yeah, some of these I've never heard of. Then again, to be fair, I've never read the Quran from cover to cover, so that's probably a good reason for that. But yeah, so far this is, like I say, really interesting, and I'm actually learning a lot. So yeah, let's keep going.
Quran is also believed by Muslims to have foretold that humans someday would be able to reach the sky. In Surah 29:22, it says, "You cannot escape Allah's might on earth or in the sky, and you have no protector and no savior besides Allah." Also in Surah 84:19, it says, "You will ride one layer from another layer." The word tabak in Arabic means a layer in English, and from this came certain myths about flying carpets, but now the flying aircrafts that go up layer upon layer are what we know today. Also, sound waves. According to the University of Washington, the original
So that's where flying carpets come from. Obviously, I've always heard the myth, I've seen Aladdin and everything else, so I've heard about flying carpets, but yeah, I didn't know that's where the myth actually came from. So, if nothing else, we've learned that. Let's keep going.
original sound waves were not temperature variations, but they were actual real sound waves spreading around the universe. Now in the Quran, Surah 41 verse 11 indicates this, and it says, "Then he directed himself to the heaven when it was smoke, and then said to it and to the earth, 'Come willingly or by force.' They said, 'We do come willingly.'" So the heaven replying back implies that the heaven had a voice, which would mean it emitted a sound wave. Another miracle Muslims point to is high altitudes affect your breathing. As altitude increases, atmospheric pressures and oxygen levels in the atmosphere actually decrease, which eventually gets to a point where we can no longer breathe. Now, we all know this, the higher you go, the harder it is to breathe. Now in the Quran, Surah 6 verse 125, it says this, "Those whom Allah wants to guide, He opens their chest to Islam, and those whom He wants to leave astray, He makes their chest tight and constricted, as if they are ascending to the sky." Bones forming before muscles is also another miracle. Apparently the first formation of actual bones happens in the jawbone at day 41, and about 3 days later, that's when the associated muscles are formed. And in the Quran, Surah 23 verse 14, it says, "Then we develop the semen into a leech, then we develop the leech into a lump, then we develop the lump into bones, then we clothe the bones with flesh, then we produce it into another creature. Most blessed is Allah, the best of creators." Number 2, now we look at the part of the brain responsible for lying. So for centuries, everybody thought that the frontal part of the human brain was responsible for sight, because of course it's at the front of your head. But we know now that the part responsible for vision is actually at the back of the brain. So if you fall back and hit the back of your head, it could affect your sight or make your eyes go cross-eyed. But now science shows us that the frontal part of our brain, or the prefrontal cortex, is responsible for forming intelligent thoughts like creating lies. And Muslims quote the Quran, Surah 96 verse 16, that says, "A lying, sinful forehead," which indicates that lying is happening in the front of your head. Now, number 1, we have planet stars.
Oh, a small fun fact here about the front of the head. Most, was it like serial killers and psychopaths, etc., have like a deformed or a misformed frontal part of their brain, like the frontal lobe or something like that, which is also the part that helps, regulate emotion and everything else. So, yeah, I just thought that was a little fun fact to throw in.
And all of the celestial bodies are actually moving. For centuries it was believed that the earth was fixed and the sun and the moon and other planets and the stars and all that revolved around the earth. But an interesting passage from the Quran that the Muslims point to is Surah 39 verses 5, and it says, "Allah created the heavens and the earth in truth. He overlaps the night over the day and overlaps the day over the night and enslaves the sun and the moon. All move to a pre-recorded destiny." Alright guys, so these were just some of the passages that Muslims called miracles of the Quran. But now I want to hear from you. Join in on the conversation down below. And if you have any requests for any future FTD Facts episodes, also leave them down below or shoot me a message on social media. Alright, now check you out.
Right, just pause that. There's obviously you can see his channel name there as well. So yeah, that seemed like a very good video to watch. Obviously, it was taken from like a very non-biased point of view, so it wasn't from like a pro or anti-Islamic stance. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Like I say, some of these I didn't even know about, so for that it was interesting. I've learned something there. And, you know, I think the miracle of this isn't the fact that that we know these things, because obviously science has proven all of this to be true. It's the fact that there's no way they could have known some of this 1400 years ago, purely because they didn't have the technology around to be able to test that. So the same thing when he's talking about, you know, the developments of bones and muscles and everything. They had no way of testing that. You know, they had no way of testing to see if that was true or not. It just turned out to be true. So how did they know that 1400 years ago? Well, either the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was psychic, he was just a very good guesser, or it must have been revealed from a divine source. That's the only way that people could have known that. Because I know other people trying to say, well, what about the ancient Greeks? He had no interactions with the ancient Greeks whatsoever. So, yeah, there's no evidence whatsoever to prove that he was ever there, or to prove that they were ever in, you know, what is now Mecca, you know, Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, that's just kind of where my thinking takes me. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, apologies for the video and audio not syncing up. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to react to. And until next time, peace.